All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the eBay shop. My name's Corey.
I'm Teresa.
And this week we kind of knew was going to be a crazy week, but we didn't expect all the things. We didn't know it was going to be this crazy of a week. So we're just going to talk about that.
It was crazy.
Yep, we're just going to talk about our week again. But we do have things that sold that we got to get out of here because we did have some good sales.
We did.
What's the first two?
We sold a windbreaker jacket. It is a Sergio Tacchini, I think, color block Italian, full zip, track windbreaker, size something.
Very 80s, very, I don't know,
I'm
Russian
pretty sure
mob.
The amount that we've sold, I think I made my money back, so I could throw away all the rest of them that have not sold.
Are these the ones we bought on Chop Commons?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was, FYI, that was a horrible buy.
That was a horrible buy?
That was a horrible buy.
Whoops.
I have a whole bunch that are still listed. I think I've only sold maybe 4 of the items, and we had like 30 items.
Well, one of them's gone. What'd that sell for?
$39.99, full price.
All right, now we got one that surprised me at the very least.
I have been sending offers on this stupid thing for I don't even know how long.
Let's see if I can show it to you. It's a Barbie Locket necklace.
It is. And it's one of the very few that still has the Barbie image inside of it. There's a little Barbie picture inside of it. Be careful opening it. See the Barbie picture?
It does. It has the little Barbie image in it.
So I picked this up at a thrift, not a thrift store. It's a church sale. And it was super cool. I'm like, oh, this is super cool. It's Barbie, you know, hey, I'll keep it. Then I looked it up, and the last one had sold for like $99, right? So I listed mine at $98.99, like a year ago. And it did not sell, I sent out offers on it for $75, $69, did not sell. Then just up and out of the blue, it sold for full asking price. I do have free shipping on it. So, but it sold for $98.99 for a stupid necklace from the 90s.
All right, so we started off our week kind of Wednesday, I think, didn't we? Or was it
No,
Thursday?
we were supposed to go Wednesday
that's right.
to
we ended up
Citywides in T, which is where we go to pick up my proxy bid stuff from. But they didn't have a whole lot of their sales starting on Wednesday.
So we held off and we went to the Hartford Citywide, which started Thursday.
Yep.
And we did okay there. We picked up some decent stuff, but all in all, like they have some really cool signs. I mean, their signs are phenomenal. They have some really funny garage sale signs.
Typically one garage sale that they put like signs all around the town.
Yep. But then you get to the sale and it's like,
it's like junk. So we didn't do fabulous like we've done at Citywides before. I'm pretty sure we only picked up maybe 10 things.
Yep. But they were 10 really good things. So like we're gonna do okay. It was worth going.
Yep.
But it wasn't great. Like I said, the signs were better than the sales in most cases. And the town had major construction going on.
They're trying to put in they're just putting in pipe, like drainage pipe and stuff, instead of the roundabouts. Because every town around Sioux Falls where we source is putting in roundabouts.
Yep, and they have, the construction's on a main road to the only real gas station or place to eat. So, and it's kind of a byway to get from one side of the town to the other.
Yep.
So construction was a pain in the butt. And we put on a lot more miles than we should have because you got to drive like 4 miles out of your way to get around it.
You do. But you want to know what the most frustrating piece was?
I know what it was because Teresa cursed a lot.
I did. I called people some not so nice words. If you put your garage sale up and you advertise your garage sale in the advertising that they have for your Citywide.
Not just that, but the signs were out. The signs were out.
Saying it was open 8 to 5.
Even if you were sign chasing, you would have chased them down. And then you get there and there's no sale. Mm-hmm. Garages are closed, cars are in the driveway. There was at least 3 like that.
I'm pretty sure there were 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But
that's aggravating.
That's when I want to go and take down their signs and lay them down. Like, you should not have your signs out there if you are not having a garage sale.
And I don't know why they weren't open. The weather was beautiful. It didn't rain on us.
Nope.
Like, it was a good day for sales. They advertised they were going to have the sale. They put their signs out, and then they just decided, you know what? Nah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of the Citywides around here, they will do, like, they're smaller towns. So they go in and they do, like, Excel spreadsheets or PDFs of all the garage sales that are on there. And this one was, like, an Excel spreadsheet PDF, and they had their
those
Wednesday.
Are 2 different things.
Well, they had done it in Excel and printed it in PDF for everybody to have. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Okay. Just making sure.
It was a PDF of the sales.
Yes. But they had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or no, they didn't. They had Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't think they had Sunday on there because theirs don't typically run. And then they had the address and they had what they had. So I went and specifically looked just in the Thursday category. And they had a bunch that didn't open until in the evening, which I can't go to because I have to record. but I picked only the ones that were open on Thursday.
Yeah,
And they weren't open.
They just weren't open. And that
Shame on
gets
you.
our goat. But what do? You just drive to the next. All right, speaking of the next, what's next?
Hold on, what do? You flip the... Oh, I don't want to do that on
Wow.
camera.
You just...
You
Sorry.
flip off their house as you drive by. Sorry. I did not mean to whip out the finger.
Teresa's getting gangster over here. All right, what's old next?
Hold on, my thing won't scroll. We sold, I think, besides the steak knives, this is the last one of my Wüsthof.
Wüsthof. There's a TH. Wüsthof.
Wüsthof.
Well, here, I can...
Whoosh off.
It's a knife.
It is. So this is the Grand Prix II. So if you see these out in the wild, grab them. Because I sold all of them individual.
Here, it looks like the logo is like a trident.
Yep. So this is the, like I said, it is actually Wüsthof Trident. Grand Prix II Cook's Knife, made in Germany, discontinued, and it sold for $51. I'm pretty sure I paid $20 for that whole lot, and it sold, I'm pretty sure I made $200 to $300 on it.
All right, next was a purse that we bought from SSK Promo on Whatnot, I believe.
I will tell you, I love Ken to death, but I would never buy another one.
These are, this is a little noisy. It's a concealed carry purse is what it is.
Yep. It is a Damsel in Defense Daphne concealed carry Gemma purse. You know where they get the Gemma from?
Probably Sons of Anarchy.
I think that's where they got it from. But it's a shoulder bag. And I'm pretty sure we paid like $15 for it.
I don't remember what we paid for it.
But we sold it for $38.
And it's gone, so.
It is.
I think both of them are gone. We bought
No.
two, right? We still
That's the
other
first one I've sold.
Okay, well, we have one more if you would like one.
It's white, though. It's like a cream white color.
All right, so as we said last week, this week was our actual Midwest Redneck Triathlon where we have friends and family come out and we do a little triathlon. So Friday night, before we had the event on Saturday, Friday night before that, Teresa's sister, her older sister, Tara, came out and helped us set up. And we figured it would be kind of a lazy, easy day.
Oh, God.
And it was. I mean, we didn't have to do a lot, but by the end of it, like, we were done.
It was so flippin' hot out that day. So we had to run errands. We had to go get the roadkill, which was brats and hot dogs. We had to go get sand for the horseshoe pits.
Pick up boards for
We had
the
to get
axe
boards
targets.
from our escape room for the axe throwing targets.
Then we had to put the boards up. We had to kind of freshen up the horseshoe pits and put new sand in them because our cats out here like to use them as litter boxes.
We did make sure there was no poo in there for anybody that had to reach in
And it was new
get
sand.
get a horseshoe.
What else did we have to do?
Oh, I had to clean off my tables.
We had to clean off tables. They were a little bird pooped.
No.
Oh, our other, we did have to clean off our tables from the year previous our garage sale. It's
been 2 years
2 years
since
ago we had a garage sale.
garage sale.
Our garage sale was still set up in our big other building.
Yep.
So we had to go clear tables so that
Yeah,
we could
because
have them back.
we've been holding on. It might have only been a year and a half.
Well, yeah, because we would have needed the tables last year. So it's been a year.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, anyways, but we went out there and we had just, when our garage sale was over, our $1 for everything, $1 for each item.
We just closed the doors
We
and
just
walked away.
closed the doors and walked away.
So we're horrible.
So we've been holding our child because we didn't use just our tables.
We used hers too.
We used our oldest daughter's tables too. So we've been holding them ransom
for a year.
for a year.
Yep.
But
So
she
we-
still has one of mine.
We did get all set up. We had to draw the target on the boards. We got sand in, all that stuff. But by the end of it, like, we were just ready to go in the house and go to bed.
Do you want me to tell him what I told my sister?
Sure.
So, FYI, I'm a little ghetto. I am not a
was hot.
princess. It was so hot. So when we've been outside working and
I'm
it's
a little
hot,
ghetto. Good Lord.
we live out in the country. We have trees that pretty much block our house. Plus I have sheer curtains so you can't really see in. But when I get super hot, I mean, you get sweat everywhere. They were calling sweat in places on Saturday, all kinds of names. But it was so hot. I will go in the house. I will strip off my shirt, put a towel behind my back on the chair, and I'll just sit there and enjoy the air conditioning, let everything air out. So I told my sister I was going to do that. So she messages me once she got to town, and she's like, "Oh crap, I forgot something. I'm coming back. Make sure you have your shirt on."
Yeah, we're classy folk.
Well, it's hot. I mean, I don't
was
strip
hot.
completely down. I just take my shirt off.
It was hot. So it was nice to just go into the air conditioning and sit down Friday night. And then we had to get up Saturday morning.
Early.
Because our event started Saturday at 11, 12. So we had to get everything set up the rest of the way. We had to cook all the brats and hot dogs, get all the tables filled with food so everybody could eat. So Saturday was a lot of fun. Then we actually had the
I
event.
forgot what I did a Friday night yet too.
What did you do?
I baked 2 angel food cakes.
She did, and I ate
I'm
one.
very pissed at people because I put frosting on one, and it's not really frosting,
Hold on.
it's whipped topping.
Frosting does not belong on an angel food cake.
It was whipped cream,
It doesn't belong on it.
but it does with strawberries.
Well, if you're making strawberry shortcake, yes, but you don't put frosting on an angel food cake. That's
It was
why.
whipped cream. It's not frosting.
It was not whipped cream. It was yellow.
It was yellow colored. It
was like
whipped
buttercream frosting.
No, so the frosting that we used is actually, it's called buttercream, and it's whipped frosting. So it tastes like whipped cream, but it's way thicker than whipped cream.
Anyway, nobody wanted that one. So they wanted to eat the other one that she cooked to save for
And hid in the
us.
house.
And hid in the house, but everybody went in the house and ate that one instead, which made her angry, but I ate most of it, so she can't be too angry.
I did let him eat the last piece, though.
Yeah, she told
So
me
my-
just because I don't want to eat it right now doesn't mean I don't want any, so you can't have any. So I moped around the last piece for like a day until she finally gave me permission to eat it. Right?
And then I ate the one with frosting.
Cake issues aside, the event went pretty smoothly. The weather was amazing. It started out kind of overcast, but it was nice out, and then it got hot. Everybody got a little bit of sunburn and rednecks. And then Teresa's team actually won the championship in the horseshoes. Mm-hmm. And then her team won the overall trophy. So Teresa was the champion. Her team was the champions. My team, on the other hand, had tied in a 3-way tie for second to last on
So
everything.
FYI, that's 3 years in a row that I've gotten grand champion.
Yep. So my team sucked. Teresa's team did not. One of these years.
I think the reason I won horseshoes is because my horseshoes are special.
They are special.
They came from my grandpa Johnny, who passed away, I don't remember how many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. But they were his, so we use them every year.
And then once the event was done and trophies were handed out, we kicked people out of here super fast, and we told everybody they had to go home. And then we went in the house and got classy again and just chilled out in the chair, relaxed, got in the air conditioning, and that's where we thought our night was going to end.
But we'll tell you
It did
more
not.
after these 2 items. You like the advertising?
All right, so item 1, we picked up this big Rubbermaid digital scale. It's
Yep.
a nice scale.
It's nice. It is
just-
really nice.
I mean,
it's heavy.
You could put some big stuff on this
But-
one. And it's steel, like it's a heavy
I
scale.
should have kept that one and sold my other one because that one's way bigger, but it takes up too much space. So it is a Rubbermaid commercial digital shipping scale, 150 pounds. We don't ever hit that weight, ever.
No, I would hope
Well,
not.
I do, but my package is
The stuff we
still-
ship does not, typically.
So that one I took an offer on for $47. Hopefully it's going to somebody else that's a reseller,
Yep.
and they're going to take advantage of it and use it for shipping.
Or just weigh children.
Why are you weighing children?
Well, adults get a little too large for that.
Oh, yeah, well, not our daughter.
Well,
She's 95
maybe
pounds
not.
wet. The next item we sold, I picked up, she had $5 a bottle on them. I grabbed 5 bottles and I said, would you take $20 for all of them? And she said, sure. I should have said,
Dang clock.
stupid clock. I should have said, she said, sure, girl. She didn't say sure, girl, but she said sure.
So it's When
It's
by
When-
Lavender. It's this stuff here.
It's not by Lavender. You
Well,
didn't
it's
read the
Lavender.
little.
When by something that I can't read.
It's When by Chaz Dean Lavender Cleansing Conditioner. They get 5 bottles plus 2 pumps that go in the bottles.
The tops.
Yes, the pumps.
We had to pick it up. These were special because we used to have an employee named When, and she was a good employee.
She was. You want to know what they sold for?
What'd they sell for?
$129.99 for 5 bottles of stuff.
Well, you gotta like that.
That was
That was a good sale. All right, so we're in the house relaxing after Saturday. We're thinking our day is done. We're both like minutes away from a coma. And we got a phone call that no parent ever wants to get. On the way home from the event, our youngest daughter, Hannah, actually, she had been home and left to go get groceries or something in Sioux Falls, which is about an hour away from us. And she got T-boned at an intersection. So she got in a bit of a fender bender
So yeah, she calls mom
immediately.
and she says, everybody's okay. But I've been in a car accident.
Which is not a phone call any
I
parent
still
ever
like
wants
now
to get.
it's still like
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, we have grown children and family in that town that could have gone up there and did go up there to pick her up and help handle things and get her home and all that. But Teresa being Teresa, we're an hour away.
I'm a mama bear.
We were in the car before the phone was hung up almost. I mean, Teresa was going regardless. So we jumped in, we went, and
That's
we
my
did
baby.
get there. We did get there before they cleared the scene and towed it off. So we got to see everything and give our moral support. And then we went, dropped them off. Well, our oldest daughter went and dropped them off at home. We followed. And then we went and grabbed something to eat.
So yes, thank God. It was Hannah and her boyfriend were in the car. It hit on her boyfriend's side. They are all okay. They are bruised. They have backaches, whatnot.
They're going to be sore.
Road rash, not road rash.
Like airbag
rash. Burn from the powder on the airbags setting off because it set off all the airbags in the car.
Yeah, it hit hard enough to set off the airbags. It kind of took the front tire off passenger side and just kind of twisted it off. Like they got hit pretty good. It spun them all the way around in the back of their vehicle, hit as well.
Yep.
So it was, I mean, they got clocked pretty good by a car coming through the intersection. And it happens. It was a fender bender, and as long as nobody's hurt, it's just a chunk of metal. So we're thankful for that. But that was kind of how we ended our night, was taking an hour drive there and an hour drive back.
And now all the fun, while we were sitting eating, because I wasn't really hungry. Like, you get through that stuff, like the adrenaline rush and all that, and it's like, you're not hungry, but you know you need it. You know, so did my granddaughter. She was feeding Corey his fries. But you need to eat, and so I ate a little bit of a, what do they call those there? Cement mixers?
Yeah, like
at
a blizzard
Culver's
type thing, yep.
But while we were sitting there, you know, I had my oldest daughter, and she used to work in the insurance field. So we were filling out the accident report, submitting the photos, the accident report, all of that to the insurance company. So now it's just a matter of, you know, I'm 95% sure they're going to total it out.
Oh, yeah. Yep, they will.
She went to go get her stuff from there today. She cannot get in because the vehicle's in my name.
Yeah. So basically now it's just finalize the insurance stuff. She's going to be starting at zero with no trade-in and no down payment, and she needs to go car shopping. So we'll help her get that figured out. And yeah, that's how we ended our weekend was that. And when we're done today, we get to go because she needs to be able to clean the rest of the vehicle out. So we'll get that handled once we're done packing today.
The two pieces is, typically I draft and list every day. I drop items every day on our account, on our eBay account. But that's what I was getting ready to do after I took probably a little bit of a snooze.
Oh, your eyes were closed. You weren't getting ready to do nothing.
And so, because Redneck Days happened all day and then this happened at night, I didn't list anything on Saturday.
No.
But I will tell you, I made up for it on Sunday because last night I listed way more than our normal amount that I typically list. But, you know, even though my kids are grown, I'm a mom. I'm a worrier.
Yeah, reselling takes a back seat when life happens, and a parent's job is never really done. You're going to go do that stuff as a parent if they were 50 years old. It wouldn't matter.
Yep. And the thing is with my youngest, I mean, she just moved out from our house. Like,
the second time. She was here while she was student teaching, and she had just left, and she's in an apartment now. But
she calls me every day.
Yep.
Every day. Well, not every day. She calls me 5 days a week on her way to work. She calls me and just chats with me about her last night's day.
She needs somebody to complain about her job to.
She doesn't complain about her job.
I know.
It's surprising, you know? When she was working at the daycare, when she was student teaching, I got to hear it all, and she complained about it. But she's overnight stocks at Walmart.
Now, we're not getting in this on a bad note. Things did get better.
Yes.
We have more stuff that's not.
So
stick
just
around.
know they're all okay. Everybody's okay. Now it's just dealing with the aftermath.
All right. What else sold?
We sold some blood sugar. That sounds super weird.
Blood sugar formula.
But this,
we
I was
up a whole bunch
shocked.
Of these.
I don't know how many I have left, but this is the fourth one I've sold.
Yep.
And
we did get a good deal on these. These are the ones we bought with those cameras, right?
Yep. So these are Pure Health Research blood sugar formula, dietary supplement. I don't know what they do.
And they do have an expiration date on them, but they are not expired. We checked before we bought them.
Yep.
So these are selling pretty quickly for how much?
They are. I sold 3 bottles of them for $59.97. So like $20 a piece, I think is what they go for.
All right. The next thing is something that I picked up. Probably shouldn't have, but I saw it and it was cool. I didn't comp it. I just picked it up.
We sold somebody else sell one though.
It's one of these cats. It's like, what do they call those? Like
It's a Perfect Pets.
Perfect Pets. And it does purr and breathe, and it's kind of creepy, but at the same time, it's kind of cool. So it
Our
comes
granddaughter
with the bed.
had fun with it.
Yep.
So
That's
we paid
what it looks like.
$5 for that, and it sold for $24.99.
So
not
bad.
great, but
all right. Now, if you're watching our other social media, we did a couple of shorts where we used the 3D printer to actually repair some vintage toys. The first one was that Casey reading robot thing.
Yep, Casey
we
robot.
used the 3D printer to print new parts for it because they were broke and it didn't work.
We did. We opened it up and put the belt back on and then closed it back up thinking that would fix it. And it didn't. So I opened it back up, pulled that piece off, and realized that underneath of this spinny wheel, the plastic was broke. So Corey used a 3D printer,
Yep.
printed me a little piece that goes on there, got it all glued up. That piece stuck.
But then the other piece, another piece beside it broke, which was the part that you put a screw in to hold that all down.
Yep.
So we had to 3D print that. The plastic in those vintage toys,
Oh, that one was brittle.
they get really brittle.
Well-
But we were able to print the pieces with a really large base, so they had a big glue area,
Yep.
and they're really sturdy now. So we took what would have been like a $10 for parts only robot, and now it's probably going to be more in the 50, 60 or better range.
I don't remember what I drafted. I did draft it yesterday. I just don't remember what I put for a price on it. But it comes with Casey the Robot, and it comes with 4 books. Actually, it comes with 5 books and 4 cassettes, but
Right.
one is a duplicate book.
Okay.
So,
And then after that, now that we kind of had the bug of fixing the vintage toys,
who had the bug of fixing the vintage toys?
I wanted to print more stuff. So we have this Star Wars 97 Kenner Star Wars AT-AT or AT-AT, whatever you want to say. I'm not a Star Wars guy, but it was missing the canopy off the front of it.
It
and
was missing a couple more things.
I was able to find the canopy online that you could download for a 3D print, and I printed that. I found 2 different versions. One of them worked better than the other one, so we were able to print a new canopy for that. Now we can't sell it as normal.
Nope.
Like we have to tell them it's a 3D printed part, make sure they know, and it's just kind of a bonus that we're adding it in.
Yep. And I did, when I listed it, I left the original image without the canopy.
Right.
And just added those images at the end and then put a disclaimer saying that,
The canopy
was
was
3D printed,
Yep.
whatnot.
So for somebody that wants one complete and they're not like a really anal collector that's just like a purist and it has to be the original piece, it actually is a very well fit part and it makes it look the way it should look.
Yep. So now the bonus piece is if we're outsourcing and we find a toy that's worth a bunch, but it's missing a piece,
We can repair it.
Corey's my go-to guy.
Yep. And I like doing it. It's fun. So the time I put into it is not really that big of a deal because it's fun to do and you could resell it as functional.
Yep, but-
unless it's like the Star Wars collector stuff where they want it original, it has to be original. But you could still include the 3D printed piece. I think it still does add value to it. It's just they have a complete toy while they look for the replacement canopy.
And so Corey is he can't say words properly,
No,
but he's a learned guy.
I'm learned.
Yeah, he
I'm learned.
likes to learn
I do like to
how to
learn.
do things.
I'm a tinkerer, a crafter.
We're gonna just call you Tinkerbell. I'm gonna get you a shirt that
No.
says, I'm a tinker. Call me Tinkerbell.
No, let's not. Don't call me Tinkerbell. Let's not start that. No, I do like to see how things work and repair things. Like that's always been fun. I was a mechanic in my younger years. Like I do like to do stuff like that until I don't. Like if I had to repair the same part 50 times, then it's repetitive and I don't like it anymore. So as long as it's something new and I'm learning and building and fixing, I love doing that. So this is
Except for cars.
cool.
He don't touch cars no more.
I don't touch cars no more. I'll change the brakes or change a tire if I have to, but I'm not digging an engine out of a car anymore. I'm just not.
No.
So, all right, what's sold next?
So up next was a pair of shorts. They came in a proxy bid lot with some other jeans that I've sold.
Some Hurley cargo shorts.
They are.
Nothing special to look at
Nope.
here. You all know what cargo shorts are.
They're Hurley men's brown cargo outdoor hiking multi-pocket shorts. They sold for $22.99. These weren't a great pickup either.
They weren't a great pickup, but usually, here's what they are. They're like molding blades or dado blades for a table saw.
That's the first time we've ever gotten one of those ones, though, with
It
the
is.
multi-blades.
And usually when I see these old vintage like dado blades and molding blades, you see all the different profiles this one will do. I usually pick these up because sometimes these will flip pretty quick for around the $50 range. So I pick them up if they're cheap enough.
But
these were because we spent $5 for
two
different ones.
Yep. So this is a Sears Craftsman 7-inch cutting molding set for radial and table saw. But we paid $2.50 for it. This is the last one we had.
And look at all the cool profiles you can do with that. This thing's amazing. Like if you were making like molding and stuff, like that's awesome.
So when it says radial saw, that's one of the ones that you pull down
That's
and pull forward.
that's a radial arm saw.
Yeah. So it's just the one that pulls down.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to put this on that.
Oh, I don't know. I know what a table saw is.
This is a table saw or more like a planer blade that you could run stuff through.
Okay. But it sold for $24.99.
All right, so that's all we have. Well, that's not all. We have a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's all we have for this video as far as things that sold. We are getting ready to, because our week has not been full enough yet, this weekend we're going to take off Friday morning early.
Yep.
And we're going to do our scavenger's journey again.
Scavenger's Journey. I think it starts in Plankington or Stickney, South Dakota, and goes all the way out to Walt. But I did, FYI, find another group besides the Scavenger's Journey one that is Scavenger's Journey, is it Myrtle or somewhere farther out?
Okay.
So I wonder if
it's kind of like a highway sale for South Dakota's version of a highway sale. It spans almost the whole state.
Yep.
It goes from East River to West River, and it's like 500 miles. It's a long.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep track of mileage this year to see how far.
It's a lot of mileage, but basically we go a full day until about 4 or 5 o'clock, which lands us about the center of the state in Chamberlain.
Yep.
Right on the river, and we stay there, and then from there we take off and we go all the way out to Wall, which is pretty much in the Black Hills.
Yep.
And then that's the end of it. So we just turn around that day and come all the way back home.
My brother said we should just like go a
Go
little
the
bit
rest
farther.
of the way.
Yeah.
We can't stay gone 2 days. We got somebody watching the dogs.
I know.
Which will be Hannah, which we might have to go pick her up now because she doesn't have a vehicle.
She doesn't. So, but we'll get it figured out.
Yep.
She's
So-
already been looking, so we just
She
have to go
has.
with her to go with, at 21, most 21-year-olds are not comfortable enough to walk into a dealership and say, hey, let alone a girl.
Well, I wouldn't recommend anybody go to a dealership and say, hey. That's just not a thing. People don't do that. Or they shouldn't do that.
Well,
I don't. Maybe they'll give you a deal. You can try it.
I don't know. But yeah, so we did find some that were on Facebook Marketplace that are, private sales. Is that what you call them?
Yeah, just by
And
owner.
some that were at dealerships, just to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, we're starting the whole shopping process. Shopping for a vehicle is a lot harder now than
It's
it
stressful.
used to be. Like pre-pandemic and stuff, you used to be able to just go pick a vehicle, get a loan, you're done, and then you just make the payments. Now, like it's much more difficult to shop for a vehicle.
Well, not
so-
only that, we just went off on another tangent, but
We
anyways, not only that, but the prices they want for vehicles. Like I looked at,
They're
I
crazy.
think it was like a Buick Rendezvous or something. It was like a crossover vehicle because that's what she's comfortable in. So that's what she's looking for. But they had in the note, ask or email for mileage. Granted, they had like 11 grand on this car. I emailed them for mileage and they might email me back today. It has 250,000 miles on it for $11,000. A vehicle that's 10 years old.
Yeah, prices are high.
It's
They're
a joke.
harder. Vehicles are harder to come by right now for some reason. I don't know, but that's what we're doing. That's been our week, and that's what our weekend's going to look like is the scavenger journey. So it should be a fun weekend. Well, it's going to be a long
It
weekend.
would have been way funner if my friends from Tennessee could have came this weekend.
It would have been, but that's all
But
right.
they're coming in the next week, in a couple
We'll see
weeks.
them. We'll see them on the 4th. All right, so we're going to get out of here. We'll see you guys next time.
Hasta la vista, baby.